Hello everyone, welcome to Lighthouse Stamping with Lorraine. I hope your day is going well. Before we get started today, the housekeeping notes, you'll find all the product I used and description of all the measurements and everything listed below. You'll find a link to my online store. If you need a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I'd love to be yours. If my email is there, if you have any questions, you can contact me. And my link to my Facebook group is there, and we'd love to have you join the Facebook group. Also, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me grow. I really appreciate all your assistance in that area. So, I have 3 stamp sets out in front of me. I'm trying to get the glare, but can't get the glare out. So, we have Butterfly Brilliance, Framed Florets, and Something Fancy. Pulled a few things in today. Butterfly Brilliance is retiring. Framed Florets is retiring, including the dies, both of these. Something Fancy is not retiring. Now the bundles are retiring, bundle price is retiring. You'll still be able to get the dies and the stamps, but they will not get the 10% discount after the, was it May 2nd, I believe, yeah, May 2nd. So if you want to get these with the bundled price, you may want to do that now. These two will, be available until supplies are gone. So as I tape things and things are retiring, I'm going to let you know. If I find out things are gone at that point, I will let you know that as well. So I brought in Butterfly Brilliance, and I'll show you why in a minute. This one, we're using one stamp out of it. We're using I Didn't Forget Your Birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. And then we're going to focus mostly on this set. So I'm going to move these off and show you what we are making. We are making this card here for a special person on a special day. And there's the verse and little stamping there. Now I have done some pre-die cutting, and so we're gonna do some stamping first, and then I will show you all the parts I pre-cut, and then there's a little flower on the front. So let me grab what we need to stamp on first. Of course, we need our envelope, and we are going to need the inside of our card, which is 4 by 5 1/4 standard size. And we are going to need a stamping mat. And I did not bring out a piece of cardstock, so we will need a small piece of paper or cardstock to sit inside my envelope when I color it. So it's not a lot of stamping on this one. We're going to be using Memento to start with. So the Memento can sit for a few minutes. We'll get those done first. So there's that one. And the other Memento is this one here. Missing a little spot right there. Okay. And put that down here in the corner. Now, in order to make this card, you will need to stamp that bouquet. So you can cut it, color it, and cut it out. I have done this one ahead of time, so it didn't take as long. I will list all the colors I used in it. There's Balmy Blue. What is there? Mint Macaron, Balmy Blue. I think there's not Pool Party, Yellow, Flirty, Flamingo. There's several colors, Granny Apple Green. I will list all the colors I used below. But I did this one ahead of time just to help speed up the process. And then we are going to need some Mint Macaron. And we need a little oval. And I will show you how I got that oval in just a second. And on the inside of our card, we are going to stamp. Oop, that one's definitely not straight. Let me try that again. And I'm going to put it towards the top. And that is Mint Macaron. I'm going to miss Mint Macaron because it's leaving us. And this is our saying for the front, or the inside of our card. Just like that. Okay, we're going to let this dry for just a minute. And I'm going to show you the other pieces that I've already pre-done ahead of time. These are the dies in the framed florets. Now, the base of our card is Pool Party, but this frame here is Mint Macaron, and I cut this out, okay? And then I cut this one out of Pool Party that we'll be layering on top. Now, when I cut this one out, I have a Mint Macaron. Matter of fact, you can see all my extra die cuts here, and I saved them all. So I have them for later when I make something. I did make something in pink too a while back. So what I did was I cut out this one here in Mint Macaron and one in white. So the white piece is the one I just stamped here. So you end up with some extra pieces, but that's okay. You can make different combination of cards with those. And there's no need to get rid of them. So I want to show you those. And we are going to need to die cut today. I'm giving that ink a little bit of time because lately it's been bleeding on me and I don't want this one to bleed. The other thing we need is we need some butterflies. I didn't want to stamp butterflies. I decided I wanted to die cut them. And these are the two smallest detailed dies out of the Brilliance butterflies. And then I started looking around what I wanted to make the butterflies out of. Did I want to color them? What kind of paper did I want to use? And last week I made some cards using this paper. And I thought this would make some beautiful butterflies. So I just sort of picked out different areas where I wanted the colors to go. And actually, I'm going to probably just use that sheet again. But I thought they made some beautiful butterflies. So we are going to die cut that. But yeah, just look at different kinds of paper you have. This is the Fancy Flora, which I love. And you should know, I'm sure most of y'all know by now, all of the DSP is retiring. DSP never carries over. I don't remember any DSP ever carrying over. I know I haven't been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a real long time, but I've been using Stampin' Up! Products since they started selling it back in 1983, I think it was. And so, and I've never remember ever carrying over. So, let's see what we've got. Oh, I probably got a little more room to cut something else out of there. But sometimes, I'm going to just do I grab my pokey tool here. Just quickly poke those out. Sometimes just using some different pretty paper is just the easiest way to make some beautiful butterflies. Guess I could have got my brush out, but I didn't. So we'll do it this way. Okay, we'll just take a minute. I hope. Hey. Okay, there's one of them. I'll hold it up close so you can see the coloring on this. So you got the blues, the purples, the pinks. Makes a beautiful butterfly. Yeah, I should have grabbed my brush. I didn't even think about it. And it's in the other room. There we go. And this one's got more blues in it. Got those striations of the darker blues. So it's really, find something pretty paper. Another one I think that would make really pretty butterflies is the Hues of Happiness paper. It's got so many brilliant, bright colors in it. So let me get that out of our way. So that was the die cutting we needed to do. Now we'll come back to our coloring. This has had a chance to dry. Like I said in the past, if you are using, stick a card, a piece of paper, something, this I folded over just a piece of scrap paper, into the corner where you're going to be coloring. Since the base on my card is Mint Macaron, I'm going to use Mint Macaron to color my flower. And so I have the dark and light. I'm going to grab the dark first. And just put a little bit of dark in here where I want my darker areas. And then grab my light. I know Mint Macaron is not a color you think of flowers, but I have some flowers that are this color. I can't remember. There's a snapdragon and something else. And they're very pretty. So there's our envelope. That one's all done. So, excuse me. Welcome to spring. That's what I always say is this time of year. Welcome to spring. Okay, I'm going to start with my dark macaron, and this one is going to be dark. I'm just highlighting the parts I want to be darker, just sort of following what the stamp sets told me. A little darker out there. This is why I colored the other flower. I took my time and slowly colored it. Okay, and now I'm going to grab Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to use the light first. The dark daffodil is very dark, so I like to do the light first on this one. And then just come in and put extra little highlights in. And you'll discover the different ways of using different colors because they have different intensity of color. I should tell you, I have already heard that several of the blends have already sold out of the colors that are retiring, one of them being soft succulent is my understanding. So if you are looking for some blends of the colors that are retiring, I suggest you get those ordered right away. Yeah, a little less yellow, darker yellow. I haven't moved this in. I guess I could move this in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. The yellow really picks that up. Now that this is dried a little bit, you can see the difference in the coloring. Okay, and now I'm going to grab, I'm going to grab Dark Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to do these little berries. I guess we'll call them berries. And then I'm going to grab Granny Apple Green. I'm going to grab the dark first and use my nib. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in on the nibs here, just with the nib, and go over the veining on these leaves that have veining. I'm doing a great job just coloring those in. And then I'll come back with the light. And I just realized I forgot to color a leaf on that, a petal on that flower, on the yellow one. Well, it happens. Sometimes you're coloring, you overlook something. You always go back and fix it. I'm also gonna, am I gonna do those green or am I gonna do, I'm gonna do them a different color. So those are those there. This should be light daffodil, and I messed it up. Didn't mess it up, I just didn't color it. And excuse me while I look for my other pen. I've set it someplace and I don't know where I set it. Oh, there it is. You know, sometimes you mislay things. So I'm going to use, you could do green on that. Do I want to do green? Or do I want to do the blue? I'm going to use the blue. This is Dark Pool Party. You can make these green. You can make them whatever color you wanted, but I wanted to use some of the colors I was using in the paper as well. And these I'm just using dark and just doing them. And that's the color I used on the first one for some of the little sprigs that came out, was the blue. I thought it looked, now I'm out of screen, sorry. So that is the extent of the coloring. Like I said, I did the one here. You see where I did the blues? Did the blues in there too. Okay, so let's build this card. Yes, that's not a real, it's a very simple card. We have 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, and we have our inside mat to go in. Like that. And this is from the annual catalog, Design a Daydream. It was the host set that you can still get. It still is available. And I just love this paper. This is got Mint Macaron and Pool Party in it. I seen the paper and then it's like, I want to use that paper. And that's how I designed the card, was from that piece of paper. Someone asked me how I decide what to make. Sometimes it's a piece of paper, sometimes it's a stamp set, sometimes it's a die. It's just if I want a fancy, I want to use a certain color. It all, you know, varies. Okay, so next we're going to put down is our our mats here, our frames. First one is this one, and I want it to go right in the middle of the page. And so I'm just going in here on the larger pieces and putting a little glue here and there. You can just dot glue around here and there and it works just fine. It doesn't have to all be covered. Just like that. And I'll set that in my grid here so I can see if I've got it just about centered. That looks pretty good. Okay. Excuse me. Next, we're going to go ahead and put this one on, and we are going to use dimensionals on this. Actually, I used mini dimensionals. Or you can use large ones, but I started by putting one at the top, one at the bottom. So, like I said, it's a narrow little space. Oop. Overhanging there. And just fill in the holes so we don't have it collapsing on us. Like I said, these just fit on there. You could cut the bigger ones down, or you could use, oh, I guess I don't need another one. We'll save that for later. You could use the foam strips and go around in a circle like you would for a shaker card, even though we're not making a shaker card. Okay. Then we're going to lay this, not pushing down, just setting it here, trying just to set it here. It wants to stick before I want it to. and make sure you have it nice and straight. Now this, excuse me, we're going to put glue on, and we are going to drop it right down in the center of that hole, just like that. You know, I get the little backs over here so I don't have them on the floor. Sorry about that. Okay. The next is we're going to put this on, and this is going to come, oh, something about like that. And so it's going to be up on there, but we need to put dimensionals, at least a couple right here. And I have enough space, I can use a couple big ones out here like this. Before I take the backing off, whoop, I'm going to drop it on the floor. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting close enough here. Nope. You come a little further out. I did not push them all the way down. There we go. So I want to make sure I can come right across that like that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this. This is right about here to there. I'm just going to come in here and put a little less than that. I'm going to put a little bit of glue. I'm going to tuck that up in there just like that. So it's being propped up there, but it's right on top of that. Next, we're going to put some butterflies on. So I'm going to put the big one up at the top. I'm just going to put a little glue here at the bottom. I'm going to grab a small dimensional here. So put a small dimensional where his little top of his body is. Just fits in there. And a little glue down below, because he's actually going to rest on my frame. Right about like that. And the other one, I want to put him down here. How do I want him up here? Maybe the other one at the bottom. I'll put this one at the top. I'm just going to use all glue on him because he's not going to be going over the frame. Just through the center of the body. So we'll put him at the top here. Like I said, no two cards. And the reason is I moved this over further this way than I did on the first card. And I'll show you the first one. So next we need to bling this out. And so I grabbed a whole bunch of pearls. These are your basic pearl basic jewels. And I've got some, I need a large one too. This is just old packaging. I had quite a few of these from years gone by. They're exactly the same. And I want one of the large ones for his head right here. And we're going to grab the medium. And let's grab the medium size ones. I'm making a little putting a few down here. And I have a small one. I'll just put at the end here. That's his little body. We'll go the next size on him. This one over here. And put a few down to make his body. And then we need some more bling. There wasn't enough for me. I wanted lots of bling on this card. And let's put a put one more here. We're still not done. Grab some small ones up here. And put a couple in the flowers. Now you don't have to use as much bling as I'm using, but I wanted bling. And that is my card. So this is the one we just finished. And this is the one I made previously. So I swooped this one further into the corner. That's why I switched the butterfly up here. And the butterflies all look different. This one has a little more purple than this one. So, but that is the card. So I hope you enjoyed the card. Give this a try. If you like the flame florets and you don't have it yet, you might want to get it before they are gone, because while supplies last. And I will see you on Friday, and we are doing the box that goes with this card. So I've designed a box that matches this card. So I will see you on Friday, and have a nice day. Goodbye.